Good morning, everyone. So, happy Thursday. I just got off a Zoom meeting with all the other teachers of Room 401, and we were just kind of talking and catching up, and we were all talking about how much we miss you all so much. I'm sure by now you have heard that this is going to be how we're going to carry out our learning for the rest of the school year. I am not happy about this. I'm very sad about it. I want to be in the classroom with all of you and see you in person every day. But our school has to take the proper precautions and be safe and just take all those necessary steps to keep all of you safe during this time. So this is how we're going to have to keep in touch from now on, which is why I would love it so much if you all would post and let me know what you're doing or what you're up to on the Google Classroom. Okay, so now that we have that message across, we're going to start our morning meeting. If you could go ahead and log on to, I'm going to do the same, starfall.com. And then once you're on Starfall, go ahead and go up to our calendar.
Yippee!
It's April 2020.
Let's make a calendar.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to turn my volume up so you can hopefully hear my computer. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So,
what day of the week is it today?
What day of the week is it today? Go ahead and look up at the top where the days of the weeks are. And look where that shiny golden highlighted day of the week is. Right here. And if you look at that, today is
Great
Thursday.
Job. Today
is Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now we're going to
fill in the missing day and date.
Fill in the missing day and date. So we just went over, it is Thursday. So I'm going to drag Thursday over. And if yesterday was the first day of April, then that means today is the second day of April.
Great job.
All right, so after I clicked that next arrow, we're going to now
mark any special days this month.
Mark any special days this month. So yesterday was the first day of the month, so I kind of went through and explained all of the holidays to the best of my ability. And I'll be posting more about those holidays and special days this month on those actual days on our Google Classroom. But I'm going to go ahead and start marking I will start with the holidays. So, yesterday, does anyone remember what holiday that was? If you can't remember, go ahead and look at the calendar, and it was April Fool's Day. You can kind of see that hat. That's supposed to be a hat, this picture right here. Supposed to be like a hat that like a joker or a jester, that silly person would wear to represent April Fool's Day, where you typically pulled some pranks on some people yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and put a star on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, because that was April Fool's Day. All right, and then I'm going to go on to the next week, and the next holiday that I see is on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, is Passover. Remember, that was that Jewish holiday that we talked about yesterday in our morning meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and put some stars, but you can put whatever one you want on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, because that is going to be Passover. And then we have another holiday the following day. So on the next day, Friday, April 10th, 2020, is Good Friday. So, and remember, Good Friday is that Christian holiday that kind of starts the weekend for Easter weekend. And so I went ahead and put some stars on that day. And then 2 days after that, on Sunday, April 12th, what day is that? I know some of us were excited about this day when we heard that it was going to be April soon. So if you look, there's 2 colorful eggs, or Easter eggs, because it's going to be Easter. So Easter is another holiday that's typically celebrated by people of the Christian faith. So I'm going to go ahead and put some stars on Sunday, April 12th, 2020, because that will be Easter. And then we don't have any more holidays that week, but the following week, so on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, there is a lovely picture of the Earth because it is Earth Day. I'm going to go ahead and put a star on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, because this is a very special day to me, because it's a day to bring awareness on how to keep our Earth healthy and happy, and how we can better the Earth for the future generations. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. The last holiday that I see this month is on Friday, April 24th, 2020. That will be the start of Ramadan. And Ramadan, remember, is typically celebrated by Muslim people, and they practice Islam. And I posted a little bit about this. I posted a brain pop video that tells you more about this holiday on our Google Classroom yesterday. So if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put some stars on that day. Okay, but we have one more special holiday, not necessarily a holiday, but a special day this month that I would like to recognize. And if we look at our birthday chart from the classroom, we have, let's see, January, February, March, April. Whose birthday will it be this month? Harry. It's going to be Harry's birthday. So Harry's birthday is going to be on Sunday, April 19th, 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and take that birthday cake sticker and put that on Sunday, April 19th, 2020, because that will be our friend Harry's birthday. Okay, so if you would like to mark any other special days this month, feel free to. I'm going to go ahead and move on. But I know that a lot of us like to mark other special days and some days that I might not know about. So go ahead and do that right now. But for time reasons, I'm going to go ahead and move on to
Choose a picture for your calendar.
So I'm going to go ahead and choose a picture for my calendar. So remember, they give you 4 picture options that you can choose from. Yesterday I went with the rainy looking one. Today I think I am going to pick what looks like a boy and a girl just taking a walk in a park. It's the first option. And so this is what my calendar is going to look like today. But you can choose whichever one you want. All right. Hooray! So we finished our calendar for the day.
Goodbye.
And then now is the time we're going to go ahead and transition to weather. So I'm going to go type in Chico weather. And remember we're looking at, let me see, this part right here when you pull it up. All of this. Okay. So, today, Thursday, April 2nd, 2020, it says the current temperature right now, it might be different for if you're following along later on in the day, but right now they say that it is, let me see if I can write this backwards. I really need to get a new pen too. Okay. Boom, look at that, I did it. All right, so it is currently 54 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I'm going to go ahead and go down at the bottom of that picture area, the bottom left corner, and make sure that there is a box around Thursday, because today is Thursday. That's how you're going to find out other information. So right here, you should see that box around Thursday. And that is going to tell you what type of weather we're going to have, whether it's going to be sunny, partly cloudy, rainy, whatever type of weather, and then it will tell you the high and the lowest temperature for the day. So this Thursday, I'm going to go ahead and draw so Thursday, there's going to be, it just looks like a sun, which I think it probably tells me it's going to be sunny out, but we'll see. Okay, and then we have 67 degrees and 38 degrees. So it'll look like this when it's highlighted. So today is Thursday, and this on the screen is just a yellow circle, so that is the sun. So, and if I look up at the top underneath Chico, California, it says it's sunny today. So this is correct. It is sunny today. And if we look right here, it's backwards, I know. 67 degrees. That is going to be our highest temperature for the day. And 38 degrees, that is going to be our lowest temperature for the day. And you, if you would like, can look at that. Remember, there's that like array of temperatures. Let's see, right here. And you can check to see what the temperature variations will be throughout the day, because the temperature changes as we go on. Okay, so I'm going to move on to that part where it has those three rectangles put together. And it says temperature, precipitation, and wind. So these. So we did the temperature. So now I'm going to go ahead and click precipitation. Okay. And then this is where it's going to show you, remember, that blue line with percentages. So that's, those percentages show what chance of rain there is today. So if you look at today's, straight across and 0%. And then if you look up at the top right where it says precipitation, humidity, and wind, precipitation's at 0%. So there is not going to be any type of precipitation today, meaning it's not going to rain. It's definitely not going to snow, but it will be sunny today. So now I'm going to go ahead and move on and click the wind button on that right here. And then this is going to show you, remember there's arrows that show you and have the miles per hour. throughout the day of the wind. And so it shows you how fast or slow the wind is blowing throughout the day. And if I look up at the top right where it says precipitation, humidity, and wind, it's going to be 16 miles per hour is going to be our fastest wind speed today. So that's kind of windy, I would say. And I'm looking outside right now. You can take this opportunity to go ahead and look outside if you're near a window and whatnot. And luckily, I have 2 windows in my bedroom. But the window I'm looking at right now, I see the leaves dancing. So yeah, it's definitely windy. Don't see a cloud in the sky. All I see is just lovely blue and that beautiful sun shining. So this looks like a good day to maybe go outside around my house and go for a little walk or something. But I'm going to keep my social distance. Remember, we talked about that. If I do go for a walk, I'm going to make sure that I stay at least 6 feet away from another person. Okay, so you can ask any other questions to maybe a family member or even just yourself if you want to figure out more information right now. But right now I'm going to take the time to go ahead and write today's high and what tomorrow's high is going to be. So remember, today we talked about how our high, when you look at the highlighted area on Thursday down here, this box, remember it said it was going to be a high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Friday and make sure that there is a box around Friday right here. And on the bottom left corner, it says it's going to be a high of 68 degrees, very similar temperatures. Really quickly, what degree difference is there? So if today's going to be 67 degrees and tomorrow's going to be 68, how many degrees are between those 2 numbers? Shouldn't take too long because all we got to do is just go up 1 more degree. So tomorrow will be 1 degree. As of right now, tomorrow will be 1 degree warmer than today. And then, so today we talked about how it's supposed to be sunny today. Let's see what it says for Friday. So I'm looking at the box around Friday, and it looks like there is a circle, a yellow circle, so the sun, with looks like there's 2 clouds kind of slightly covering the sun. You can kind of see that. Right here is bigger. So that means usually that it's going to be mostly sunny, but they could be partly cloudy. There could be some clouds. It's not going to be fully cloudy, but it'll be partly cloudy. Tomorrow, today, it's going to be sunny. So whoever's doing the weather would normally write this on our board at school, but this is my board at home right now. So it says that today it's going to be 67 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. And tomorrow will be 68 degrees Fahrenheit and partly cloudy. And if we look at now that we have this, if we look at our temperature scale, so today's high, if we look, remember, is 67. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 60 and then 65. I know that it's not far past 65. So I know it's going to be in between 65 and 70. So let's count. 66, 67. So right here. It is still within the cool range of temperatures. And then tomorrow, will probably be very similar because tomorrow's temperature, if we look, it's going to be 68 degrees. So 66, 67, 68. We are still in, it's super close to that warm temperature range, but we are still in that cool range. But it's not as cool as if we were down here in this cool range. Speaking of cool, let's look at the lows for today. So if we remember, think back, or you can just look on your screen and make sure there's that box around Thursday. That temperature, the lowest temperature for the day is supposed to be 68. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 38. I'm going to go ahead and go to 30, and then we have 35, and I know it's going to be between 35 and 40. So 36, 37, 38. We are now in that cold temperature range. So it's going to be cold tonight probably. And if we go ahead and click on Friday, making sure there's that box around Friday, we know our high is going to be 68 degrees, but our low is going to be 43 degrees Fahrenheit. So if we look in here, we're at 40, and I know it's in between 40 and 45. So 41, 42, 43. We are still in that cold temperature range. And yeah, 43 degrees, I would say, is pretty chilly. I'm from Chicago, so it's not as chilly to me, but it is still, according to our temperature gauge, pretty chilly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on from weather. You can continue to do the weather and check out as much as you'd like, but I'm going to move on to our social story for the day. So let me just erase my board really quickly because I don't want to leave any writing on it, because it might be hard to get the dry erase marker off if I don't erase it after I'm done. Okay, so we are going to go over a social story on interrupting adults today. So I was able to actually make this into a PowerPoint before this morning meeting time. So we have a little PowerPoint to follow along with too. And I will upload this to our Google Classroom as well. Okay, so a social narrative on interrupting adults. Sometimes kids feel like their concern is the most important thing in the world. Even when adults are talking and say that they are busy, we kids still interrupt. So if you look here, here's two adults talking and they're having a conversation. It's clear they're busy, but this kid here is still trying to interrupt these adults. Sometimes I think I need something from an adult right away, but the adults might be busy with work or a conversation. So yeah, us adults are busy sometimes, and we can't necessarily give you our full attention at that moment. So see, this is a busy, looks like he's working, and then they're having, it looks like a type of meeting, like a conversation type meeting. Sometimes I interrupt them and immediately ask my question. We're all guilty of doing this. Even adults sometimes are guilty of doing this. Sometimes we feel like what we need to say is so important at that moment, but we also need to be considerate of what others are doing at that moment as well. But it is polite to wait until they are done and then ask my question. So, if we look, see, they're engaged in a conversation, and this kid, he's blurting out his question immediately instead of waiting like this kid. So it says wait, and he's patiently waiting until this adult is done doing what they're doing to ask his question. If I think the question is important, I can say, excuse me. The adults, though, might still need to finish talking before they can answer you. And I can wait patiently for them to finish. And that's true. I know that you were all capable of using your patience tool and patiently, politely waiting for an adult to finish with what they're doing. I know it can be frustrating at times. I get frustrated too. But if you feel that it is super important, then you can say, excuse me. But if that adult is still engaged in doing what they're doing, then you still need to respect that. Unless it's some super life-threatening thing like you fell and hurt yourself or something like that, then it would be okay to go ahead and interrupt because that is an urgent matter. So this kid, as you can see, these two adults here are having a conversation, and he felt that what he has to say is very important, so he went up to them and said, excuse me, in a polite, we talked about a respectful tone yesterday during our social story. And so this is another part where you would need that respectful tone. You would need that respectful tone to say, excuse me, and see how nice, instead of saying, excuse me, or something like that. See how there's that difference there? One sounds a little more calm and happy and lighter, and the other one sounds a little mean. Okay. I feel good when I wait patiently because it is polite. It is polite. People like when you are polite to them, and they will be polite to you too. Having someone be polite to you feels good. I think we all can relate to that. I know it makes me feel good when someone says please and thank you and talks to me with a respectful tone and uses their manners and isn't demanding. And I really appreciate when people can communicate in a calm and respectful way to me. And I'm more willing to want to communicate back with them if they are polite to me. So you can see this boy is politely communicating with this adult. And you see how happy he is that this kid is politely communicating with him and using his manners. And so yeah, adults and other people your age do appreciate, everyone appreciates when you are polite to them and treat them the way that you would want to be treated. Okay. All right. So that was the end of our social story. So, some key points to remember from this is it's polite, and the best way to go about communicating is if you don't interrupt an adult and you politely wait for them to finish what they're doing. But remember, if you really feel like what you have to say is urgent, you do have the option. You can say, hey, excuse me, in a really nice, respectful tone to whatever adult you're trying to communicate something to. And you can go from there. You might still have to patiently wait and be polite, but you at least tried to communicate in a polite and effective way that makes adults want to communicate with you. Okay, so that is going to be the end of our morning meeting for the day. I would really love if more of you would comment on anything maybe that you liked about morning meeting, that you would like to see maybe added to morning meeting. I just want to hear from you in general. So please come talk to me, or talk to me on Google Classroom, set up a time to Zoom with me. I just want to see you all and keep in touch with you all because I miss you all so much. So, all right, well, I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday, and I will be interacting with you online. But other than that, I will see you via video tomorrow for our morning meeting. All right, have a great day.